Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast.
From the Sugar Shack Studios in Houston, Texas, USA, it's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, Rich McClellan with Elite Customs in Franklin, Tennessee, and Jelly Rolls Ride. Jeff has the cruise in and events calendars, and we'll have the stories making automotive news headlines this week. Howdy along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. David Ainsley sleeping in. He'll be joining us on our remotes very soon, and we got a bunch of them coming up. Let's get right to our first interview right here and now, shall we? His name is Rich McClellan, and he's Elite Customs in Franklin, Tennessee. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Well, very well, thanks, and thanks for hanging in there with us this morning. I know you've been waiting all this time for us, but it'll be worth the wait. It's glad to have you. Franklin, Tennessee, I told the boys, I said, wait a minute, I think Daryl Waltrip is from Franklin, Tennessee.
He is. He actually has a couple of dealerships out there that we do business with, actually.
There you go. See, you make fun of my memory, and you can still make fun of my memory.
Yeah, we're still going to do that.
What I've got to say to you is boogity, boogity, boogity.
That's right. So, Rich, tell me about Elite Customs. How long you been in business? What's your background?
So we've been in business right at the 10-year mark. We're pushing the 10-year mark now when we opened it. I've been doing this type of work for somewhere around 25 years since I was young. And I kind of got into the audio world originally, doing car stereos and stuff, as most young kids start out with in high school. And I just kind of evolved. I couldn't find people to do the work that was being asked of me or that I wanted done. And so I kind of taught myself how to do it, and a lot of trial and error and broken things here and there. And I
succeeded, obviously.
I did. I figured it out. And then along the way, I met a lot of people that were really good at their craft, and, kind of, hey, come along with me on this wild ride of building cars.
So, Franklin, Tennessee, where is that in relationship to Nashville? Or give me another major city.
So it's about 15 minutes outside of Nashville.
Okay.
South.
Yeah.
South, headed towards Alabama. But like I said, it's real close to Nashville, so you're not very far.
So you've got a major city to pull from, and obviously, just like any other business, I would imagine that this guy had this done over there at your shop at Elite Customs, and hey, I want to have that done, but I want something else, and then it just keeps on going and going and going, and pretty soon you got a parking lot full of cars waiting to get in the shop.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of our client base, they start out with something small, especially if they haven't even really customized in the world. They come in and maybe do a chrome delete or wheels and tires or something along those lines, and then evolves into a relationship of trust, and they go, okay, what's your ideas? What's your opinion? Which way would you go? And, I give them my opinions and try to learn their personality as best I could to kind of guide them and direct them in a way that they don't feel uncomfortable getting out of their own car.
And they can afford.
And they can afford. That's a great point. And that's how we got. I started off, like I said, in the audio, and then remote starts came on the scene, and that's where I really shined. And I could do remote starts, and I've traded everything from hot tubs to cars to for remote starts back when they were.
How the hell did that hot tub thing work out for you?
There were actually people in it.
There were 8 people in it. The hot tub time machine, that was your invention.
You find people in different crafts and different worlds, and plumbers or whatever.
Yes.
Happened to be one guy that he installed pools and hot tubs, and he would take them out as well. And he's like, hey, I got this hot tub, but I really want a remote start. And I was like, well, I can trade with you.
It's funny you should say all of this. It reminds me of a guy that I knew and met him at an apartment complex that I lived in. And he was working for a company called Marco Polo. This is before your time. Marco Polo was an audio company. Remember, they used to have those back in the day. Mm-hmm. And this particular company went out of business. Imagine that. So he opened his own business, and it was called Custom Car Stereo. And it was a little bitty slice of a little bitty strip center up off of Westheimer here. And he would run a little 1-inch box ad in the Sunday sports section of the Houston Chronicle. car stereos installed in your car, $49.95. And he had no money, and he bought them on consignment. And because they didn't know who he was, and Kenwood and Alpine and all of those car stereo makers were just getting into business and
back
really,
in the day,
getting started. He sold every single one. He couldn't put them in fast enough, and he turned his business into a multi-million-dollar business. Mm-hmm. Long story short, he's very successful, but that's how he started installing stereos. And at the end, before he sold his company, he was doing Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Tesla, all of these cars, high-end exotics.
Now he owns them.
Now he owns them, but putting in big stereo systems, and these guys that have these very expensive cars trusted him, and word spread, and things just kept going. And you sound very similar to his kind of background.
Yeah, he does.
Well, thank you. I take that as a compliment.
You should, yes, absolutely, no doubt about it.
He's very successful here.
As a matter of fact, John Gray, who's one of our sponsors, it was the guy that I told you about, had loaned John a space in his shop to do detailing, and one thing led to another, and window tint. Now John, all of the high-end cars in town, if there's anything wraps or anything like that, John does it, including stereo stills. So it's kind of one of those businesses where if you're good at it, word of mouth spreads among those enthusiasts like ourselves, and hey, I'm going to take my car over there. And then, my wife cars needs this or that, whatever the case. You're well connected, and you pull from different sources.
Well, the way he does, obviously this is his segment, but it seems that he's got trust, like he says. He gets the trust of the customers, but the customers also take pride in what they do.
Yes.
And nowadays with the internet, they already know what they want walking in. Hey, I've seen this at a car show. I've seen this at one of the music events, and so they know walking in what they want. So obviously he's got a bird nest on the ground. He's just going to put it in.
Well, and he's got a reputation to back that.
Right.
Exactly.
And he's in the music capital of the world. Hello.
We're going to run his little video here while he's talking.
Exactly. So let's talk about the jelly roll machine that you did.
Yeah, so it was a 1964 Lincoln Continental. I got a phone call one day from him. We had built several cars. We built a 76 Cadillac Eldorado for him and chopped the top off of it. And he took that to the CMAs a couple years ago. And we built one for his wife and built another truck for him. And he called me, and matter of fact, me and my wife are getting some tattoo work done. And he's like, hey, man, I got a great idea. The CMAs is coming up for this year, and I've got to top it. We did the Cadillac last year, but I've got to make a bigger splash. I want a convertible. I had a 61 Lincoln Continental that I'm building myself. That's a hardtop, and he would walk in and see it, and walk around it, and look at it. He's like, I really want a convertible, and I was like, okay, let me find you. And so I got on the phone, I got on the internet, and I found one in Utah. And so I found it out there. Made contact with the guy, negotiated the price, texted Jelly, and was like, hey, here's the price. What do you think? And he was like, you think it's fair? I said, it's very fair. They're kind of expensive for convertibles, but it's fair. I have another buddy of mine that I'm friends with that owns the Lamborghini dealership in Salt Lake City. And so that guy was real close. I called him. His name's Tom. And I said, Tom, do you mind taking a look at this car for me? Let me know what you think about it. And then can you do the deal for me? And he was like, yeah, sure. Guy brought it up there. He looked it over. He said, look, it doesn't run. It's the brakes don't work, but there's no rust, right? There's no top on it. It's not in great shape, but it's in great
doable
shape. That's right. So the body's straight, the body's rust free, and sometimes that's all you need. And so he paid the guy for me and set up transport, had it transported out. We got it a week later. We paid him back. And we started, and Jelly came in finally. It took a few months for him to come in because he was on tour. And he comes in and he goes, okay, I want to do a gloss black. And I was like, wait, I'm going to stop you right there. We cannot do another Lincoln Continental convertible gloss black with chrome trim. Everybody is either black or white, and you just can't. You can, but you shouldn't.
Right.
And so he goes, okay, well, you build it how you want to build it then. I said, okay, then I'll build it. And so he never saw it another day until we dropped it off finished. And I would call his wife from time to time and be like, hey, what do you think about that? Or what do you think about this? And she'd be like, yeah, I don't really know. And so we went on, and then my wife had a great idea. She was like, man, what if we engrave the door handles, the outside door handles? Nobody has really done that. And I was like, well, I've never even thought about that. That's a wonderful idea. And so contacted a guy that does guns out in Vegas, and he was like, yeah, absolutely. Jelly roll, yeah, we'll do that. So I sent him the handles, the steering wheel, horn button, the inside door handles, and he custom engraved them all and sent them back. And then we put a Gen 1 Coyote Mustang engine in it.
Nice.
Automatic transmission.
Yep.
Lean towards doing air ride, but any car guy knows if you do air ride, like, there's bound to be some kind of trouble.
Yeah.
Sooner or later.
Yeah. If you're not a car guy, you do not want to be stranded with your air dumped out.
Right.
And so we put static suspension on it. We did put air in the rear just to be able to kind of level it out. He's a big guy. And then we moved the seat back 5 inches so he could fit in there, put a tilt steering column in there, and then redid the whole interior, paint, body. We did the whole underneath. I mean, all electrical. We did everything. And then the wheels were one of a kind. We already had wheels, and they were getting ready to go on, and I had one of the reps from Asante come in, and he saw the car. I've known him for years, and he was like, man, we've got these brand new wheels that haven't even dropped yet. They would look great on that car. And I was like, yeah, but man, we got to have this done in 3 weeks. And he was like, I'll have them to you in 3 days.
Cool.
I said, send them to me. And he did. They cut them out, sent them to us, and they made a huge, huge splash. Some good, some bad. And, but it was, that's kind of what you want on a car.
Yeah, absolutely.
The car you build. But for the most part, I think we did a pretty good job.
That's awesome. Well, and I guess you got probably more in the works in the shop, don't you?
Absolutely. So we've actually got a 67 F100 that we put an LS in with a turbo on it, a 76 millimeter turbo. And we're actually building a 65 Lincoln Continental convertible now that will get a Gen 2 Coyote with a 3.8 Whipple on top.
Nice.
So we're redoing the suspension on that, and we're going to actually try to feature it at SEMA next year in the JTX Forged booth.
Tell me about the Brabus wagons. What is a Brabus?
So Brabus is it's a German-based company. So you're familiar with AMG?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. AMG started out as a separate company from Mercedes-Benz. So they were a aftermarket company that did performance and body kits and things like that.
Right.
After you bought your Mercedes.
Correct.
That's what Brabus is. And eventually AMG merged with Mercedes, and that's what it is. But Brabus is an aftermarket company like Mansory is. And there's only a few in the United States that are authorized to use Brabus, and we happen to be one of them. And so when we build them, we use their body kits. We really like their styling, but we use different rims. We're not a big, huge fan of their rims. And then we do different performance parts. We use a guy named Premier Tuning Group out of California, and we end up making something like 1,000 horsepower, 1,100 horsepower to the crank. And on a G-Wagon, that's a lot. And we don't have options, so we can pull the cats out, and we put titanium exhausts on it, and I mean, we wrap them and do body colors and carbon fiber, and the sky's the limit, really.
Where can we find all of this information about your company?
So we're on Instagram, TikTok, all of it's under Elite Customs TN. We're on Facebook, and our website also, elitecustomstn.com.
Perfect, because we got to look at all of your stuff. I got a feeling that you pay a lot for photography over there with all of these really nice cars and trucks that you do.
So actually, the ironic part about that is our social media guy he was in high school. He just started his first year of college. He's actually my ex-wife's stepson.
Oh, God.
You had to think about that one.
Okay.
Yeah, my current wife and my ex-wife are good friends, and he loved cars. He wanted to be a car designer, and he came into the shop, and we got to talking to him. He's really good with computers and photography, and he changed his whole major in school. He wants to now do like social media and stuff like that. So he's opened his own media company and everything.
So let me ask you this. Has your ex-wife told your current wife about you?
Unfortunately.
Wow.
Yeah.
It works out great because I get to see my son a little more than, you normally would.
Right.
Because go over to parties and stuff like that to their house. That's a little awkward. They say they don't understand why it's awkward. It's awkward. Like,
sure.
Guys, that's a little awkward. I walk into my old home.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. I can see where that.
Yeah.
You can relate, huh, Don?
No. Well, no, I can't, actually. I don't have any of those homes anymore. Imagine that. So there's that.
Great. It is a great feeling to, not have the arguments, the fights, the things like that.
Oh, that's got to be nice. Yeah.
See, I'm seeing a reality show written all over this already.
Well, we actually filmed a sizzle reel and an episode, and we're actually in the works of pitching it right now. We built around the Lincoln Continental. We actually filmed a lot of it, building it and the reveal, and so it was really good. And actually, if you go on our website, we just finished last Friday, not this past Friday, but the following Friday, we finished a Brabus G-Wagon that has about 900 horsepower, and we built it for, are you familiar with Madison Cawthorn? He was a U.S. congressman. He's in a wheelchair.
Yes, as a matter of fact,
is it
I've
the bright
seen it.
orange one?
No, it was an all black one with the grill.
We've been
had
running
some
your
pictures of
videos.
one.
We've been running your videos while you were talking.
Yeah.
So that's Madison Cawthorn's. That's the second car we built for him. He brought down from Florida for us to build.
Nice.
And we put Hank in that too.
Well, next time we're in Nashville, which we go often, as you can imagine. We're known worldwide, and so they invite us there quite frequently. Country music,
Anytime
USA,
they need
and that's right. Yeah,
the roads cleaned or something.
that's right. Then they invite us there. We're going to stop by and see you. Listen, man, it's great to meet you, and real pleasure to have you on the show with us. Elite Customs, TN.com, and Rich McClellan. Hey, we're going to look at your work and have a good time with it, sitting around chatting about the stuff that you do over there.
I really appreciate you guys, and you guys have a great day.
You do the same, my
when,
friend.
When you see Jolie, tell him I said, hey.
Absolutely.
Okay. Take care, bud. All right,
fun.
time now on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. We need to take a break, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Okay, well, let's do that. In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. Grab a podcast anytime from your favorite podcast provider. We also video stream our live 2-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. In-Wheel Time Car Talk continues right after this. Oops, wrong one.
The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupi Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katie's another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana? The Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont is on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
Welcome back to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Time now for the cruise-in and events calendars, and Jeffrey has that.
Betcha. So September 14th, which is next weekend, you've got the Primrose School of Siena. They've got a car show there. It's at 4400 Siena Parkway in Missouri City. That goes from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then just down the street at Sylvan Beach Park, Mike, you know where that's at.
Yeah.
In LaPorte, Texas. They've got one going from 8 a.m. to noon, and that's on the 14th as well. And then you got the Downtown Liberty on the Square. It's at 1923 Sam Houston Street in Liberty, just down the road from them. That goes from 9 to 1. Rev Up Your Imagination, Mike, is in Huntsville. It's at 3925 Texas 30 West.
Right there next to the penitentiary.
Yeah,
You
buddy.
betcha. That's at 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then, of course, we got one coming up at the Sam Houston Raceway Park. It's the 2024 Hot Wheels Legends Tour. It is September 7th in Dallas, and then the 14th in Houston. It's going to be at 25800 Kirkendall in Tomball, Texas. And, of course, Don's been talking all morning. We've been talking all year, and we're going to keep talking about it. What we're doing. So you got Woody's 6th annual
Yes.
coming up. And where's that at again?
That's down in San Leon,
Okay.
Texas.
And then you got Space City Corvette Show.
What's the name of that place that does salads?
Salada.
No,
No,
the
no,
one
the
down there
restaurant. The
in
restaurant
San
where you live.
Leon.
Oh, that's going to be the Waterfront
Water
Grill.
Grill. Top Water Grill.
Topwater Grill.
I recommend the salad.
Yeah.
I certainly do.
You'll be there till next month trying to get it delivered to your table.
Space City Corvette Show in Fredswood. Mike talked about that.
What day is that?
That is going to be 10/12, October 12th.
October 12th.
And then October 19th is going to be the Spring Branch High School. That's a museum that Mike talked about. On November 9th, Hemi Hideout. You got to go. I'm telling everybody about it. So I'm giving $10 out to everybody that goes.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Give
And
me
then
10.
Autorama's on November 11th. And then you've got stuff coming up for next year. So that's it. Cool stuff.
You done?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Lots of stuff to do.
Great story here. Rodney Smith Jr., this is from Automotive News. He travels the country encouraging boys and girls to help homeowners who are veterans, elderly, or disabled by mowing their lawn for free.
Cool.
After putting more than 200,000 miles on his Ford Transit van over the past 2 years, the founder of Raising Men and Women Lawn Care Service ended up in rural Nebraska this summer with a blown engine. I was in the middle of nowhere, Smith told TV station KOLN, that's Colon, in Lincoln, Nebraska. I don't know what I was going to do. When Anderson Ford heard about Smith's predicament, the dealership had the van towed to its service department in Lincoln, more than an hour away. Engine replacement and other needed repairs added up to more than $20,000, but the store did all of it for Smith at no charge to get him back on the road. The towing company waived its fee as well.
Wow.
Smith's organization, which relies on donations, asks teenagers around the U.S. to participate in the 50-yard challenge, which gives them a free lawnmower and other equipment after they've mowed 50 lawns.
That's cool.
In 2020, Ford Motor Company gave Smith a new Edge crossover to replace an older model he had driven around the country while mowing lawns for free in all 50 states. Thought that was a great story.
Yeah, that is a great story.
Police say a burglar who hit more than a dozen dealerships in the Maryland suburbs of Washington, D.C. over 2 weeks in August isn't old enough to drive the cars he's been stealing.
You remember those days, Mike?
He's also too young to be arrested and jailed for most nonviolent offenses under the state's juvenile justice laws, a loophole that has hamstrung police from stopping the crime spree. The 12-year-old thief has been caught at least 8 times, but in each instance, officers had to release him, according to station WJLA.
To his Meemaw or something.
The boy allegedly grabbed some candy bars in the showroom of a Jaguar dealership before making off with a car and snagged some ice cream from a freezer filled with customer snacks after ramming a stolen car into a service bay door at an Audi store. I think I'd hire him. Managers at the dealerships being targeted, and some worried their businesses could be next, told the TV station they're frustrated, though none agreed to go on camera. In case of someone who is under 13, they're completely immune from accountability or consequences from almost all property crimes, according to John Johnson, president of the Law Enforcement Legal Defense Fund. The Maryland juvenile justice system is set so there are little, if any, consequences for most juveniles involved in crimes.
Sounds like
The Rockville City Police Department told WJLA it has filed a child in need of supervision request seeking action from the State Department of Juvenile Services, but the process can take several months. In the meantime, they're locking up the dealerships and doing everything they can.
They need to quit having snacks in the
No,
showroom.
what they need to do is hire the boy.
Well,
come and see him.
He's the future leader of the UAW.
There is that. Okay. This is a terrible story.
Oh, boy.
I'm not even.
Don't even read it after
that. I'm not going to read it.
That one was bad
We're going
enough.
to end on terrible.
Yeah.
So I have to tell you that Joe Biden is preparing to block Nippon Steel's acquisition of U.S. Steel. According to a source on Wednesday, Reuters reported, the move by Biden would deal a blow to the proposed $14.9 billion deal. The president has previously expressed concern over Nippon's deal to buy the 122-year-old iconic U.S. steelmaker. U.S. Steel warned earlier in Wednesday that a failure to merge with Nippon Steel would put thousands of U.S. union jobs at risk. The move is the latest in a year-long saga over the fate of U.S. Steel, a storied American industrial giant and major supplier to the North American auto industry.
Wow.
Somebody needs to step up, figure it out, and make it American-owned again.
And we'll talk about it if they do that.
We will. So we're pretty excited about our lineup of remote broadcasts that we've got, especially the latest one that's going to be sponsored by Emmons Autoplex down in Friendswood, and it's a big car show down there. And I have been twice now, and I keep telling you, it's a great car show. It's under the trees in Stevenson Park down there in Friendswood, and it's coming up in October.
So does this sort of remind you of Granbury? Because Granbury's got that.
No.
Okay.
Granbury's got a great big parking lot. This has a parking lot next to it, but this is all, the car show itself is all underneath the trees in the grass. And they've got a nice, very big center pavilion out there that I think that you're really going to enjoy. Time now for a quick break here on In Wheel Time. We'll be back right after this.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755.
Well, that's all for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Be sure to check out our website, inwheeltime.com. Follow us on Facebook. Give us a like. Tell your car friends about us and share our stuff. We'll keep you posted and connected to all things automotive all week long. The love line is open and can be reached at info@inwheeltime.com. We like car pics, so send us one with a description of any info you'd like to include, and include your name. We'll show it on a future show. When you're looking for award-winning car talk, you can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Grab a podcast anytime from your podcast provider. We live stream this show on Facebook, YouTube, and inwheeltime.com every Saturday from 10 to noon Central Time. The In Wheel Time video technical director is We Always Need More, Jeff Zekin. For booking agents, video editor, and people finder, Mike Out of This World Mars, and chief engineer David Ainsley, I'm Don Armstrong. We hope you join us next week here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. That's Saturday, September 14th, 10 to noon Central Time on all of our In Wheel Time Car Talk outlets. Be safe out there and have yourself a great weekend. I'm sorry, what did you say?
Happy Grandparents' Day.
Is that today?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay. Happy Grandparents' Day. Mars.
Don.
That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.